Hello little legends, and welcome to another one of our story times. So today's story, there's some lovely flowers on it. Who likes their flowers? They're really lovely, aren't they? Lovely, sweet smelling flowers. So there's a lot of flowers in today's story. And there's quite a few on today's cover too. The Empty Pot by Demi. And there you can see all the lovely flowers. Can you see anybody else in the picture, boys and girls? Call out to me. What's this little chap here? Yeah, that's right, a little squirrel. And there's some lovely birds. And they're all looking at the little boy. And what's he holding? He's holding an empty pot. Will we find out if any flowers grow in it or anything else grows in it, boys and girls? Okay, are you sitting comfortably? Okay. We'll turn the page and begin. A long time ago in China, there was a boy named Ping who loved flowers. Everything he planted burst into bloom. Up came flowers, bushes, and even big fruit trees, as if by magic. So there, this is Ping, boys and girls, and he's way up a ladder, isn't he? And look at the many, I wonder, do you think it might be apples? Look at the many apples there are on that tree. Loads of trees, in fact, boys and girls. And he's picked some. But look at the many apples there are in those trees, boys and girls. Lovely. Do you think that maybe Ping planted all those trees, boys and girls? That's a lot of trees to plant. Everyone in the kingdom loved flowers too. They planted them everywhere, and the air smelled like perfume. So, this is their kingdom, boys and girls. And look, there's so many. Are they bridges? We call these bridges. Look at the many there are, boys and girls. And the lovely water and all the beautiful flowers. And look, there's a little girl peeking out. And they can smell, doesn't it say they can smell all the beautiful flowers everywhere. And again, more bridges, boys and girls. More flowers planted everywhere. Really, really lovely. That would be lovely to be in a place with so many flowers, wouldn't it, boys and girls? Really lovely. The emperor loved birds and animals, but flowers most of all, and he tended his own garden every day. But the emperor was very old. He needed to choose a successor to the throne. So here we are, boys and girls. Look at that beautiful garden. Look at all the lovely, lovely birds in it. Can you call out some of the birds that maybe you would recognise? Can you call out? You are right, that is a peacock. Look at the beautiful, beautiful tail feathers. They've got it all fanned out, don't they, boys and girls? And what colour would that mainly be? Yeah, that's right, green. Beautiful. And who else can you see? Can you call out some more? Yeah, that's kind of like a little unicorn, isn't it? And then some more lovely birds down in the front. And do you think maybe that's a little yellow duck? And look at the beautiful trees. There's some lovely, lovely birds and among them, those as well too. Beautiful garden. Really lovely. That's the emperor's garden. It is very, very nice, isn't it? And there he is, outside his house. And he's watering the flowers. And the birds are all come to see what he's doing. He really likes his flowers and animals as well too, for sure. Who would be his successor? And how would the emperor choose? Because the emperor loved flowers so much, he decided to let the flowers choose. So because he loved those flowers so much, he was going to let them choose. The next day, a proclamation was issued. All the children in the land were to come to the palace. There they would be given special flower seeds by the emperor, Whoever can show me their best in a year's time, he said, will succeed me to the throne. So, girls and boys, there's the emperor, and he's thinking about what he's going to do. Because what has he got to find? Call out to me. That's right, he has to find a successor, somebody who's going to take his place. Because is he getting a wee bit old, isn't he? So there he is, and he's sitting at his palace, and there's some beautiful flowers there, boys and girls, but can you see this part here? So it's not on the grass. What would this be here? Call out to me. You're right, it's the water, isn't it? So what kind of flowers are these? Would you know their name? Lilies. Yeah, they're water lilies. And they grow out in China. They're beautiful, so they are really lovely. So there, the emperor has called the children. A proclamation has gone out, and they have to come to the palace. Because what's he going to give them, boys and girls? That's right, some flower seeds. Lovely. So there we can see all the children all making their way to the palace. This news created great excitement throughout the land. Children from all over the country swarmed to the palace to get their flower seeds. All the parents wanted their children to be chosen emperor, and all the children hoped they would be chosen too. Oh, exciting, boys and girls, to be made emperor. So there they are. This is the palace, and there's the emperor. And the little children, they're waiting very patiently in line, and they're coming up one at a time, and he's giving them, what's he giving them? A little flower seed, you're right. And they have to go away then. And how long did the emperor say that they were going to have the flower seed for? That's right, they were going to have it for a year, and they were going to have to be able to come back and show the emperor a lovely flower at the end of that year. When Ping received his seed from the emperor, he was the happiest child of all. He was sure he could grow the most beautiful flower. Ping filled a flower pot with rich soil. He planted the seed in it very carefully. So there we are, boys and girls. There's Ping, and he's gone up the steps to the emperor, and he's getting that lovely little seed. How excited he must be, boys and girls. A seed of his very own to grow and grow. And he's very good at growing, isn't he? He's very good at growing the seeds. So there he is outside his own house, in his own garden. And he's got his little pot, and he's got some soil. And there he is, dropping that tiny, tiny little seed into the pot. This must be some of the lovely things that he's already grown, boys and girls. Ping's a very clever little boy. He is a very clever little boy, I think. He watered it every day. He couldn't wait to see it sprout, grow, and bloom into a beautiful flower. Day after day passed, but nothing grew in his pot, even though he watered it, boys and girls, and he waited, boys and girls, very patiently, day after day. He waited and he waited. Ping was very worried. He put new soil into a bigger pot. Then he transferred the seed into the rich black soil. So there he is, boys and girls, and we can see all the lovely birds all flying around the trees because they see that Ping has got more soil, and what are they looking for? They're looking to see if they can find anything to eat, aren't they? They're down beside little Ping. So he's got a far bigger pot now, and he's put lots of lovely rich soil into it, and he thinks, this must be going to help my little seed grow now. It's got more room, because everybody likes to grow whenever they've got more room, don't they? So another 2 months he waited. Still nothing happened. By and by, the whole year passed. The whole year passed, boys and girls. And so we saw the trees with the beautiful green leaves on them. And what's happened now, boys and girls? Where have all the leaves gone? Call out to me. You're right, they've blown away. So when would this be, boys and girls? When do all the leaves blow off the trees and it gets slightly colder? The leaves go from being lovely green to brown, and then they eventually turn off. They just float away off the trees. When does that happen? You're right, in autumn. So this is autumn. It's gone into autumn now, boys and girls. And still nothing has happened in that pot. He's been very patient. And then, what's on the trees now, boys and girls? Is that ice cream I see? Is it an ice cream tree? I'm being silly. You're right, boys and girls. What is it again? It's snow, isn't it? So it's really winter, isn't it? Really, really cold winter. And look, there's little Ping with his hat and his scarf on, keeping warm. But still we don't see anything growing out of that pot, boys and girls. Nothing. No. So spring came, and all the children put on their best clothes to go and greet the emperor. They rushed to the palace with their beautiful flowers, eagerly hoping to be chosen. So there they are, getting all dressed, boys and girls, all in their lovely clothes. There's some of them putting on their shoes, aren't they? And they're being very helpful. They're tying their kimono. Oh, they've fallen over. Oh, they're all helping each other. They're all being great. They must be really excited with all their flowers, boys and girls, mustn't they? Really, really excited. And then we see them with all their flowers. Look at those beautiful, beautiful colours. Call out some of the colours that you can see, boys and girls. Some of the lovely flowers. This one here. Yeah, blue, that's right. And maybe this one down here at the bottom. That's right, yellow. And some more colours. Yeah, the orange. They are some really, really very, very big flowers there. Don't see any empty pots, do you, boys and girls? No, we don't see any pots that are empty there at all, boys and girls. Ping was ashamed of his empty pot. He thought the other children would laugh at him because for once he couldn't get a flower to grow. So there he is, boys and girls. And look at all those beautiful plants round him. And trees as well, boys and girls. And there's Ping sitting in the middle with his little empty pot. But they've grown so big over the year, haven't they? And here's somebody coming running along with a lovely big plant. His clever friend ran by, holding a great big plant. Ping, he said, you're not really going to the emperor with an empty pot, are you? Couldn't you grow a great big flower like mine? I've grown lots of flowers better than yours, Ping said. It's just the seed that won't grow. So there the little friend is running along past with all the other flowers there as well too, and he's got a big, big pot with a big, big flower in it. But Ping is still sitting with his little empty pot. Ping's father overheard this and said, you did your best, and your best is good enough to present to the emperor. He's a very wise, kind daddy, boys and girls, isn't he? And there he is with little Ping. And there's the little empty pot. And he's a very, very wise daddy saying, you've done your best, Ping. You did all the work the whole year and it just wouldn't grow. So that's the best you can do to take to the emperor. Holding the empty pot in his hands, Ping straightway went to the palace. And look at the lovely birds following along to see what happens, boys and girls. And the lovely clouds as well too. And he's walking the whole way with the little empty pot to the emperor. He's going to say, do what his daddy said and take the pot to the emperor. The emperor was looking at the flowers slowly, one by one. How beautiful all the flowers were. So they are beautiful, boys and girls. Can you see them? Many. They're all different, aren't they? Really, really lovely flowers. And he's really inspecting them so well. And all the children are very happy looking, aren't they? They're holding them up so high. Some of them have got, look, what's he doing there, boys and girls? Yeah, he's got it on his head, doesn't he? And there's another one there, can you see it as well too? The other wee boy with the flower pot on their head as well too. Little girl. So they're all very happy looking. They've got lots of flowers, and how beautiful the flowers were. But the emperor frowned, and he didn't say a word. The emperor frowned. I wonder why he frowned, boys and girls. There he is, and Ping's way, way in the distance. Finally, he came to Ping. Ping hung his head in shame, expecting to be punished. The emperor asked him, why did you bring me an empty pot? Ping started to cry and replied, I planted the seed you gave me and I watered it every day, but it didn't sprout. I put it in a better pot with better soil, but still it didn't sprout. I tended it all year long, but nothing grew. So today I had to bring an empty pot without a flower. It was the best I could do. When the emperor heard these words, a smile slowly spread over his face, and he put his arm around Ping. Then he exclaimed to one and all, I have found him. I have found the one person worthy of being emperor. So, girls and boys, there's the emperor, and little Ping, poor little Ping, standing with his empty pot, and all the girls and boys, can you see their little faces? Can you see their little faces, girls and boys? They're very happy looking, aren't they? All thinking, well, I'm glad I'm not Ping. I'm not standing. And we have brought our flower pots full. But the emperor has said, I have found him. I have found the one person worthy of being emperor. Where you got your seeds from, I do not know, for the seeds I gave you had all been cooked, so it was impossible for any of them to grow. So any of the seeds, boys and girls, none of those seeds should have grown, which meant, what did that mean, boys and girls? Call out to me what that meant. That's right. Ping was the only one that didn't use a different seed. All the others had changed the seeds and used not the ones the emperor had given, but told the truth and brought the empty pot. I admire Ping's great courage to appear before me with the empty truth. And now I reward him with my entire kingdom and make him emperor of all the land. So, girls and boys, Ping had stayed with a little seat and tried to tend it all year long, and then he told the truth by bringing the empty pot, which was the best he could do, by bringing it to the emperor and giving it to him. And the emperor, who knew that all the seeds that he gave out shouldn't have worked, everyone should have come with an empty pot, because none of the seeds should have grown into flowers, he knew that little Ping was the one that told the truth. So look, boys and girls, he is in the carriage with all the lovely horses, so beautiful, and how colourful his carriage is. And the emperor rewarded him for telling the truth, boys and girls. I think you all tell the truth. Isn't that right? Do you all tell the truth as well? Yeah, because it's really good to tell the truth, isn't it? And Ping was such a good boy, he knew that. And he then became the emperor of all the land, the little emperor of all the land. And the old emperor really, really rewarded him for being a good boy, didn't he? So he's going to travel off now, back to the palace, boys and girls. And do you think he'll move his mummy and daddy and everybody into that lovely palace? I think so as well too. And maybe he'll put some of the flowers that the girls and boys all grew around outside the palace. But he was a very good boy for telling the truth, wasn't he? So we'll wave goodbye to little Ping and we'll say, you were a good boy, little Ping. Well done. And enjoy being in the palace and being emperor. So there he is with his little empty pot and all the flowers round him. But he was a very good boy, boys and girls. So I hope you enjoyed today's story with little Ping and the empty pot. And hope that he has a lovely time now up at the palace with all his friends maybe coming to visit him and growing lots more flowers all out in that lovely big garden. It was a lovely big garden, wasn't it? So until we do another little story for our little legends, boys and girls, we'll wave bye-bye now and we'll see you again soon. Bye, boys and girls.